Alright, so here's a little update. Our part is slightly crooked. So it just moved. Luckily I was standing here. This thing's getting louder and starting to throw sparks. I was kind of thinking like, man, I should probably change the carbide. And then this happened. It just pulled the part up, and luckily I was staring at it when it happened. So this part's probably ruined, but at least we didn't totally crash it and break more expensive stuff. Let's look at the carbide. Doesn't look horrible. I'll try to zoom it. It's just dull. Yeah, it is pretty dull. But it didn't break. I'll spin it. Look at the other one. Same thing. Very dull. Not broken. So interesting. We're apparently you can get carbide dull enough. I mean, I'm sure this is news to this is just news to me, but you can get it dull enough that it'll rip parts out of the table. But it wasn't really sounding good, so I could kind of tell it needed carbide. I don't know, whatever. I was just trying shit. But that moved. So here's the funny thing. This happened a few parts ago, and we stopped it, and we caught it. Look at this one. See that edge? It had moved up there, and it started machining, and then I caught it and fixed it. And then we made that part, and then this last one. So after that one moved, we broke out a torque wrench. I know I've seen videos of professionals, when they set a vise, they actually use a torque wrench to tighten it so you get a consistent clamp load every time. So I did that, and I basically just torqued the piss out of it using the handle, and then I measured it, and that was about 50 foot-pounds. So I was like, okay, I've heard of using like 80 and 90, but frankly my vise jaws kind of suck. So we just did 50, and it seemed to be working until this happened. So I guess it worked until it didn't. So anyway, I think we're going to knock off for the night. We were going to try to stay late and finish this first operation. So look at all these parts. This is only op 1, but we got, what, 12? I forgot to write it on that one. Yes, we got 12 of these, and 6 to go. Well, now it's 5 to go. Pretty sure we just scrapped this part, because I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but yeah, it cut way deeper than it's supposed to when that lifted up. So that one's going to be scrap, unfortunately. Oh, well, there's the first one that's definitely scrapped, but we still got 17 left. So I guess next time we'll try to do these 5. But we are making progress, as you'll note here. This first one did it in 15 minutes, and it trashed 3 carbides. Then we did that one even faster and trashed 3 carbides. Also, by the way, it was really loud and throwing sparks the whole time. Then we did this one faster yet, more carbide. Then we did this with tighter bearings. We broke 2 carbides. Here, tighter bearings, swapped cutters, also 2 carbides. But these 2, we didn't break them totally, we just like nicked them. And I think it's from the carbide here that broke, was still embedded in the material. So anyway, broke 2 there, but then look at this, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then this technically hasn't broke the carbide like we saw, but at this point it's so dull that it's ripping parts out of the vise. So it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts, and on the 8th one it failed. So basically we'll probably say like 6 parts. Make 6 parts, whatever amount of cutting time that is, we'll add it up and say, okay, after that we need to change carbide. And we may go up on our torque too. I'm surprised. I mean, you know, I guess I'm just learning, but it's crazy that I torqued this to 50 foot-pounds. I mean, that's a ton of clamping load. I'm surprised it moved. But it makes sense the way it moved, because you're squeezing it right here, and this is like a lever arm trying to twist it. So it's kind of it's a bad fixturing setup. I didn't know it at the time, but you can see the way it's clamped. I thought it was awesome, but apparently it's not. So anyway, we're learning, but we're making progress. We tightened up our bearings again, and the spindle's working better. So you can see this thing is just full of chips. We've been running some parts. So good stuff, making some progress. All right, I'll take it easy.